Hi, my lovelies. I am back and I missed you guys so much. So, I brought you guys today my Valentine's Day glam. I know I'm late, but I brought it to YouTube because when I say everyone loved it, so I was like, why not show a full tutorial? So, let's get into it. I'm not going to talk too much. So, right now, I am moisturizing her face with the CeraVe moisturizer. The technique that we will be doing today is underpainting. If you've never heard of underpainting, you will know about it today. Okay, so right now I am smoothing her eyebrows down, getting the hairs to be tamed. I could not find my brow wax, so I went in with a little lash glue and I'm just combing her hairs flat so that when we are able to conceal her brows, it will be easy. So I'm using the end of my spoolie and I'm just combing the hairs so that they can be tamed. So these under eye patches, I got them from Ulta. I do use it on my brides and I also use it on my early morning clients or pretty much any clients that have a little puffiness or darkness underneath their eyes. It is infused with cucumber, so it does kind of help with the puffiness underneath the eye. So now we're going to conceal her brows using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Tan Sand. I am going to conceal her brows underneath. In this look, I am creating a natural brow because her eyes will be dramatic and her lip will be dramatic, and pretty much this look is an editorial look. So the look I'm doing today again is not an everyday glam, so because I know how the comments can get, this is not an everyday glam, this is just editorial. So I am applying the concealer on her eyelids, prepping for our eyeshadow look. So once I apply the concealer, I go in with my Real Technique brush and I tap that concealer onto her eyelids to make sure that it's not too wet and make sure that it's evenly coated. So this is the first part of underpainting. So the point of underpainting is to try to do everything in one step using minimum product as possible. So right now I am contouring her using my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in the shade Deep Tan. So when you underpainting and you contouring, you want to do 3 shades darker for contour and 3 shades lighter when you're highlighting. So when we underpaint, we're pretty much contouring everything and then we go over everything with a little amount of foundation, a very little amount. So as you can see, I am contouring her face a little differently. Her face is very just a perfect canvas for makeup, but I also wanted to build some structure. And so I took the contour and I brought it down. So it kind of looked like she got dimples a little bit. And I also contour both sides of her nose. And so now we're going in with that 3 shades lighter concealer. Now the rule is to do 3 shades lighter, but because we're going so dramatic on the eye, I said I don't want her to have a too light of an under eye. So I went 2 shades lighter. And this is, I believe, the shade before Tan Sand. Actually, no, I'm sorry, you guys. This is the shade Tan Sand. I also use that to highlight her. So I'm highlighting in the areas. I'm also highlighting underneath that contour line that we created. And I am not using a lot of product, you guys. It's only appearing like this because, again, it's 2 shades lighter than her skin tone. So one of my little tricks that I like to do is to add a liquid lipstick on the cheeks to give it a blush. I never really invest in blushes. I use liquid lipsticks and I use eyeshadows as my blushes. So when it comes to building your makeup kit, that is something you will not have to worry about, the purchase of blushes, unless it's a particular brush that you choose to use, then go for it. So now I'm taking that Real Technique brush and I am using tapping motions. I am blending out the outer edges. I am not going underneath her eye right now, but I'm just blending the outer edges of pretty much everything that I applied. So the point with underpainting is placement. Placement is key. You want to make sure wherever you place that product, you blend that product right where it's at. We're not dragging the product anywhere because it will kill the effect of highlighting and contouring. So now I'm going over her her face using NARS foundation in the shade Macoe, I believe. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I am gently just putting a light coat of foundation above on top of the highlight and contouring. So I wanted to highlight underneath her eyes a little bit more, so I went in with a very lighter shade of concealer, and plus that is her preference. She do like a light under eye. So we went in and we added that. You can see she's feeling it. She's feeling it. So now we're going to set underneath her eyes. So I'm using Laura Mercier in the shade Honey Translucent, and I am taking a disposable sponge and I'm just using tapping motions. Just using tapping motion, you guys. I'm being very light-handed, and I'm just keep tapping it until the powder is melting into her foundation. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys, the placement of the foundation, I pretty much placed foundation on the outer and around her mouth. I really didn't go underneath her eye with foundation. I kept everything on the perimeter. So now I am taking whatever powder that I have left, and I'm just setting the extra part of her face just so that everything can have like a matte feel to it. So now I'm going in contouring, setting the contour that we did using the Juvia's Place in the palette Medium, the bronzer palette. I am just setting the contour on her cheeks and on her forehead. I didn't go too heavy with the contour because we will be adding blush from her cheeks up to her temples for that editorial feel. So I didn't go too heavy with the contour, but I did enough so that you're able to see it. So now to make that contour line a little more sharp and give her a little more definition, we're going to take some setting powder and we're going to sharpen that contour. And don't forget to set both sides of her nose as well. So now I use my Jacqueline's palette. I want to say volume 2, the colorful one, not the brown one, but the colorful one. I went in with a light pink and I used that as my transition shade. And from the start of that transition shade, I started working with the different pinks. So I went kind of darker towards her lid, pretty much into the crease. And then I went in on the outer part with a dark purple, as you'll see next. So the key to building vibrant matte shadows is to a little bit at a time. If you put too much matte shadow at one time, matte shadow can freeze up on you and crack on you and things will just not blend. So you want to make sure you're very light-handed and you add them little by little till you get that vibrant color. So now we're going to go in with our e.l.f. Cosmetics concealer, the lightest shade that they have, and I did her cut crease. So I focused on making it sharp. If somebody has hooded eyes, have them open their eyes so that you're able to see where to place that cut crease. So now we're closing the ends of the cut crease with that purple shadow that we used prior to that cut crease, and we're just closing it up to have that faded effect. Now I didn't get this full eye look, but I did add some rhinestones once I added the 3 shades of pink. And when you add rhinestones, you add it with lash glue. Just put your dots wherever have your rhinestones pinned. You pick the rhinestones up and you add it to wherever those glue dots are, okay? And then also, of course, I added lashes to her eyes. My camera did die on me, but don't worry, you guys. I just really want to try to see this underpainting technique because it is new to some people and it's also old to some people. And there you guys have it. Like, she looks amazing. The details to her lips will be in the description box. I did a red on the outer and a pink on the inner, and I just used a red shadow to go up the sides of her cheeks up to her temples. And that was it, you guys. This look was very simple and it really put you in the mood of Valentine's Day. And thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe before you go, and also be sure to head over to Instagram so that you're able to see the looks firsthand when I post them as my reels. People really do enjoy seeing the progress of my reels and the transformation. So feel free to head over to my Instagram and also hit that follow button so that I'm able to follow you back. And make sure you leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And I'm sorry this video quality is not how I usually record. Again, this was specifically for my Instagram, but I got so much good feedback. I said, let me let my subscribers on YouTube be able to see this as well. So happy Valentine's Day. I know I'm late, but I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you are wanting to create this look, feel free to send me pictures because I would love to see it. Or even if you recreate it in a different color, I would love to see it. So thank you guys.